bring the curtains down. Sandor's got his head up in the clouds so high. And Farty's dropping truth bombs, making grown men cry. We swear like sailors cause a big commotion. Getting thrown out, it's like a life's devotion. For bars and cafes, they show us the door. But we keep on laughing, yeah, we keep asking for more. Sanders got a mouth that never knows when to quit. He'll say the wrong thing just for the hell of it. Farty's on a rant about the state of the nation, while Sanders in the corner lacking concentration. We swear like sailors cause a big commotion. Getting thrown out, it's like a life's devotion. From bars to cafes, they show us the door. But we keep on laughing, yeah, we keep asking for more. We've been banned from the bar, kicked out of the diner, but we'll just find another cause the night's getting finer. Shander's a dreamer with his head in the world. Farty's got opinions that'll make your hair curl. Xander tried to flirt, but it turned into a mess. He called her a lady, she heard hot mess. Farty's on his soapbox, preaching to the crowd, but all they hear is noise cause he's way too loud. We swear like sailors cause a big commotion. Getting thrown out, it's like a life's devotion. From bars to cafes, they show us the door. But we keep on laughing, yeah, we keep asking for more. So if you see us coming, better lock the door. Cause Sandra and Farty are always looking for more. We're a whirlwind of chaos, a two-man parade. And we'll keep on rolling till our legend is made. Yeah, we'll keep on rolling till our legend is made. We've been banned from the bar, kicked out of the diner, but we'll just find another cause the night's getting finer. Shander's a dreamer with his head in a whirl. Farty's got opinions that'll make your hair curl. We've been banned from the bar, kicked out of the diner, but we'll just find another cause the night's getting finer. Sanders a dreamer with his head in the world. Farty's got opinions that'll make your hair curl. Sander tried to flirt, but it turned into a mess. He called her a lady, she heard hot mess, didn't find her. Yeah, we'll keep on rolling till I let your hair curl. So if you see us coming, better lock the door. Cause Shonda and Farty are always looking for more. We're a whirlwind of chaos, a two-man parade, and we'll...
And change that word, the word heart, you change that to bun and then see what you get.
Hmm. How about we just
So-
change band names from heart to
No. The songs. You
I-
get the songs with the word, like, a good heart these days is hard to find. Yeah, so just swap the word heart with bun.
yeah, but
See what you get.
Farty, you missed my joke. It went over your head. My joke
What was
was we replace all the band names that are a heart with bomb, but there's only the one band. You know what? Fuck you.
Uh,
Yeah. So, I'm kind of pissed, Farty. I'm kind of fucking raging right now. And a lot of it, and I don't ever want to shame people for voting however the fuck they want to vote. But how are people not fucking seeing what's going on in fucking in the Carolinas right now, in Florida right now with the fucking Helene or whatever the fuck the hurricane's name is, that disaster response, finding out that all of our money is getting fucking shipped everywhere all over the fucking world other than in the fucking impacted areas to be fucking used by the communities to help rebuild, to get, food in their bellies, to make sure they've got, clean clothes and power and shit, to try and build shit back up. How the fuck do you see all this shit? How do you ignore all this shit to start with? And then how do you go from that? How do you go from that to fucking going, oh, I'm just gonna keep voting for the same policies? What kind of a fucking retard are you?
One that should have been drowned at birth, evidently.
I see people left and right. We're voting for Harris. We're voting for Harris. We're voting for Harris. Okay, cool. Vote for Harris. Go ahead. When we're in World War III in fucking November, now I'm probably being hyperbolic. It probably won't be war on November 5th or November 6th. It probably won't be war 1 month from now. But there sure is going to be one hell of a ramp up to it. When Harris is declared the winner of the election, there's definitely going to be one hell of a ramp up to it. There's going to be definitely one hell of a ramp up to, fuck you. You don't get any of the money that you gave to us. We're going to do whatever the fuck we want with it. There's going to be more of this pressure on social media. And they're already doing it. They're already fucking doing it. We have Facebook fucking coming out and saying, couple months ago, coming out and saying, oh yeah, well, the White House did ask us to basically, tell everyone to go fuck themselves and to, create policies that fucking stifle, counter information, factual information, research that had been done by some of these fucking doctors and scientists who we were supposed to believe the science, which you can't fucking inherently do because science doesn't fucking know all the time. It's a constant learning process, and anyone who knows anything about science knows it's a fucking constant learning process. Instead, we were fucking preached to for 3.5 years, going on 4 years now, to fucking, just, trust the science, deifying fucking what we know about natural law and trying to figure out shit about natural law, which is why we have scholars who fucking take up the mantle of trying to learn about natural law, which is why we have science. I'm fucking pissed. I'm raging right now. I want to fucking strangle people.
The thing is, with that, I did do what they said. I almost look says you're fucking stupid, and they go, "What's your problem? What was wrong with thalidomide?" It's like, okay, well, you're the paid professional, motherfucker. You should know this.
Yeah. Here's another problem I have with the whole fucking thing. Right? Here's another. I'm convinced that they're sneaking at least a little bit of sodium pentothal into shit, and I know it's a short-term drug, but I also know that even a little bit of sodium pentothal makes people kind of fucking suggestible, right?
Well, actually, it's a lot easier than that. You have a look at a lot of the Democrats and especially the blokes. They are the fucking limp-wristed, fucking wet blanket, fucking not completely fucking male, bloody girly boy, little fucking pussy ass faggot fucks. And this is the reason why they call them soy boys, because I guarantee you, a lot of them eat a lot of fucking soy too, which does bring down your your testosterone and all this kind of stuff. There's a study that actually shows that. Then on top of that as well, most of them cunts are all fucking vegetarians and vegans and shit as well. And if you don't have enough protein in your diet, then that starts to affect your mental faculties and all this kind of shit. Makes you do stupid shit like not learn.
Yeah, that's part of it too.
Think stupid stuff.
That's part of it too. But again, like, I'm convinced that they're putting just a little bit in there. You don't need a whole lot to fucking... How much do you need? Like a couple of micrograms to affect someone's thought processes with sodium pentothal?
Oh, well, with things like that, dosages are always dependent on the individual because you got a
Right,
couple of different things like weight and
right.
size and things like that. It's like
But
gender does
again,
have a
think
drugs
about the
work a
type
lot.
of people who are going to willingly just dopey walk out and take it are the people who are already on like fucking vegan diets or like
Yeah, yeah,
um
easily suggestible.
yeah, they're already easily suggestible. And then you fucking pack some shit in, and then this is just my theory, okay? This isn't me fucking spouting fucking a conspiracy or not. This is just a theory that they're putting it in there because sodium pentothal has other applications. Farty, do you remember what other applications sodium pentothal has?
There's a pain relieving element to it. There's a sedation element to it
Uh
as
huh.
well.
And there's also a preservation element to it.
Oh yeah, it is a preservative too. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a preservative. So you pack a little. It's cheap to get a hold of. It's cheap to make. It's fucking salt and fucking something else, and you fucking put it together, and like everything bonds to salt. So you put some sodium pentothal in there, and boop, it'll fucking make those fucking drugs last a little longer.
and to cover your ass, you'd put it as an E number in the ingredients list.
Exactly.
Uh, I honestly don't think they need to go that far because it's pretty apparent. It's
Well, at this
straight
point,
up normal basic propaganda at this point. They're realistically now basically cherry picking who they're putting on the news. So all your dickhead channels like your MSNBC and
oh
your
yeah,
CNN and all those guns,
they're
they're only going to show you Kamala Harris, um,
it's like
fucking what's he fuck.
yeah, it's like the Trump with the good people on both sides thing. He technically said it, but he
In full
said
context.
more to add to it.
Yeah, full context.
Yeah. What's context? We don't need
Um,
context. Fucking throw it out. Throw the baby out with the bathwater.
yeah. So you'll also be bombarded with lots of like these polls being cherry picked as well. So like you got to remember, like when they do the polls, they're not just asking those 6 people that they'll show. They ask about 50 people, and they'll get the juiciest takes out of the lot. So and especially if they're trying to push an agenda or something like that. They're not going to put any Trump supporters on there. They're just going to show, oh, look how popular Kamala is. We just went and asked 10 random people, who are you voting for? Oh, Kamala, yay, yay, because women's and boobies. All right, who are you voting for? Kamala, because I'm a dickless wonder. Okay, what about you? Who are you voting for? Kamala, because Orange Man bad. And all this kind of bloody shit. And that sort of is there to try and play on our minds
Mm-hmm.
to sort of say, holy shit, look at the fucking support that there is still there. Jesus Christ, we might not actually be winning this shit. Fox
Yeah.
News being the only cunts on our side might actually be telling us a few porkies here.
Yeah,
If
but
everyone says it quacks like a duck and walks like a duck, it must be a duck.
even Fox is a fucking is controlled opposition.
Well, they're the only ones that have actually been reporting, like, say, the border and fucking
Right. But
crime
they've
rates and all that kind of shit.
but like I said, it's controlled opposition. They're reporting the border, yes, but they're only reporting insofar as to like um to capture the third of the country that'll actually watch Fox News. See, because there's always three groups of people. There's
Mm.
always the people who care. There's always the people who don't care, and then there's always the people in the middle that are just like, eh. Or no, let me rephrase. There's people who care to one extreme, people who care to the other extreme, and then there's people that just go, eh, that don't care, that are like smack dab in the middle. The people who are smack dab in the middle aren't going to watch CNN. They're not going to watch Fox. They're not going to watch news in general. They're just going to take whatever they hear with a grain of salt. And they'll just kind of like make a decision based on like 10 minutes of research they do before heading to the polls. Um, then you've got the people who are always going to be one party or another. And we are rapidly approaching becoming a one party state here in the United States. And it'll happen come November. And that's my final this is my final I don't even think it's a theory anymore. I think it's actual factual thing that's going to happen. That come November, we are a one party system.
Yeah, it kind of dawns on me. If you didn't have that little tiffle with, the British or a couple of 100 years ago, you could have this fucking dude that could wave his magical hand and get rid of the Democrat fucking dickheads and altogether.
Well, that's what recall elections are supposed to be, but people are so fucking like American citizens. I'm I'm not gonna mince words. We're fucking retarded when it comes to our political system,
But not just that.
huh?
Not just that. Like, yeah, look, not being a dick or nothing, but
No, you're
fucking,
good.
you are basically a joke on the planet. Like, everyone's like the
No,
butt of a
no,
joke.
believe me, I know.
I mean, like, warfare is the way Americans learn geography, you know?
It is.
And then they also learn the wrong thing about the people first off, and then they finally find out what they're really like later on. Like, when you went into Vietnam, they were told that they were like 9 foot tall, fucking, giant fang having fucking claw, gouging fucking bloody beast men. You get over there, they're like 4 foot fucking tall, and they're built like bloody toothpicks. And you're sort of like, what the fuck? Anyway, kick this cunt to the next country. Oh.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. I'm not gonna sit here and fucking try and be like, oh well, blah blah blah. I'm not gonna fucking, and I'm not gonna take offense to it because fucking Americans as a whole are fucking retarded. All right, when you look at it through the lens of everyone else in the world, they see everyone else in the world, and this is the shit that I've been studying. This is the shit that I've been researching. This is the shit that I've been seeing. You go and look at what other people in the world think about the United States and how they see the United States. They see the United States as a two-party system. They don't see the subtle shades of gray that that Americans think that there is. They see Republican and Democrat, and that's it. And they see these two fucking alignments, and they go, well, why don't you have a third one? Oh, well, why do we need a third one? Well, it's a fucking ugh. And then on top of it, you get dumb fucking American fucking YouTubers and Twitch uh fucking streamers who go into fucking Somalia and start screaming like a Somali pirate and get fucking manhandled. And then you're all like, dude, it's just a joke, it's just a joke. And then all of a sudden you're fucking arrested. Or you fucking go speeding a fucking McLaren in the fucking in a fucking downpour and get fucking fucked up in the middle of a downpour, and you fucking get it careening off the fucking side of the road. No, Americans are fucking retarded. We think that's entertainment. We think that's fun to watch. If you want something like that to fucking happen, just tell NASCAR to fucking pull all their regulations so that cars fucking flip in the air and shit again.
Bring back Group B rally driving. Bring that back. I so want to bring that back.
Bring back what?
Oh, that was so fucking awesome. Group B rally driving. Oh, fuck. That's the crazy shit when, like, that got so out of hand, they had to ban it because the cars were getting so fucking light and the engines were getting so fucking powerful. The tracks were getting so damn quick that the drivers were saying, we can't react as quick anymore. Like, this is happening too fucking fast. We can't do it. And this is the ones where you see, like, back in the, like, 70s and 80s, where there's all these cunts all in the road, and then they just sort of part ways as the car's, like, a foot off their front, like, jumping out the road and shit. Like, cunts are almost getting fucking hit left, right, and center. There was heaps of fatalities and shit. Like, cars came off the road and, like, went into groups of people and killed bunches of people and shit. Like, that's why I used to watch it, man. It was a blood sport.
You'd watch it for someone to get fucked up. But I'm, like...
Oh, fuck yeah.
To get back on topic here, because I think we're just getting off a little bit too much here. But to get back on topic, I am fucking pissed that people see that they will either A, see the response to Helene and go, whatever, or because they don't, believe that the government is capable of just ignoring the plight of its own citizens. They don't fucking see the fucking forklifts or the earth movers equipped with fucking with forks yanking fences out of the fucking southern border and just literally just going like this and waving fucking illegal migrants in. 400 some odd thousand of them, by the way, have been convicted of very violent crime in their home countries. Half of them, when you look at the fucking feeds and of them fucking, hawking it across the fucking Rio Grande, to get to the fence, half of them aren't even from Mexico. They're from other side of the world.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck? They're going to Mexico and they're just going to... I'm getting ready to fucking go to Mexico and get the fucking app and they fucking mention the app by name. Kamala Harris mentioned it by fucking name at the last debate. Oh, well, we use this app so that we can give them rights and we can make sure that they're, that they're crossing into the country is legal. I'm getting ready to fucking download the app and fucking go down there to fucking Mexico just so I can get fucking hundreds of thousands of dollars for free. And get
that thing where like they're coming from places other than Mexico. I've been trying to tell you guys that for fucking years as well, because they've done the exact same thing to us. We're getting Africans that were coming in. And the thing is, though, that they stop at several different places on the way through. They don't just go straight to Mexico and then straight over the border. They'll end up in fucking Chile and then have to fucking hike it halfway up the bloody planet just to get to the bloody Mexican border. Now,
well,
the thing with that is...
and they do it to get different fucking... what's it called, passports, so they can obfuscate who they actually are and where they're actually from.
Well, in some cases, it's actually facilitated by the countries that they're actually going through, because the kind of arrangement is that the countries that they're transiting through don't give a fuck that they're transiting through, because they're not stopping there. Now, what happens is, if they can't get to their final destination, this is what we did to them. We basically stuck them in a lifeboat and said, fuck off back to Indonesia. And then the Indonesians were all like, hang on a minute. Fucking, that's not supposed to happen. They were only supposed to go that way, not come back. No, we don't fucking want them. Well, you keep sailing to fucking India. And then the Indians are all like, hang on a minute. Where the fuck did you cunts come from? No. Keep going back the way you fucking came, cunt. And then they end up fucking booting them all the way back to where they fucking come from, because none of them wanted them in the first place. And when it was their problem, see, Indonesia couldn't police their waters because they didn't have enough of a navy. But when we chased one of these fucking people smugglers' boats 1 nautical mile inside of Indonesian waters, and they didn't know about this, by the way, we told them that we did it just out of courtesy, right? Well, fuck, man, bugger me drunk. Those 2 dirty, great, big, shiny new fucking frigates the Indonesians found to police their bloody waters, make sure that we don't come in into them. So, like, that's the same thing with you guys. Like, if you kick them back into Mexico, or kick them back further south, and then further south, we'll kick them out there, and then until they've been basically booted out to the ocean, they've got to float back to wherever the fuck else they come from.
But going back to what I was saying earlier, is people who are seeing the fucking response that our government has been like, oh, well, blah, 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 to all of this shit, right, that's been going on, and their response has just been, hey, don't worry about it, guy. Am I supposed to just fucking not worry about it? You're essentially fucking South Park's version of Saddam Hussein telling us, hey, don't worry, guy. No, fuck you. I'm gonna worry. I'm gonna worry that my country has become a fucking... It's no longer a joke anymore. We are headed on a trajectory that is nosediving so fucking hard. It's not even fucking funny. It's
Well, it's
not
even
funny.
basic fucking
And
common
people
sense
are
is like
still,
gone.
huh?
Even basic common sense is gone.
Yeah. And it's so infuriating to watch people continue to fucking vote for these policies that are just fucking helping us nosedive even further. And I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. Okay? I don't I don't vote along party lines. I vote for who I think, or I used to vote for who I think was going to do the better job. There's no point in voting this year. There's no point to me going, even if I do go to the polls, and this is how bad it is, Farty. I want you to know how bad the situation is out here. Even if I do go to the polls, even if I do get my mail in ballot and I hang on to it and I go to the polls and I go, I want to vote. Oh, well, someone's voted for you. How? My mail in ballot's here. No one's going to enforce it. There's
Yeah,
nothing
that
to be
is the
done
thing.
about it.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand. I mean, like, even in like small counties and stuff like that, like, surely there'd be local fucking police that should be able to fucking see some of the shenanigans that was going on.
Oh, but they're bought and paid for by the fucking local politicians. And the local politicians are all fucking blue, especially in my state. They're all blue. And it's funny because Wisconsin, I live in Wisconsin, and it's supposed to be a swing state. Um but all of the in-house representatives are not are like 80 to 90% Democrat. So it doesn't fucking matter. Um it's just nothing will be done about it. And so I see people voting for these policies that continue to fucking bury themselves. And then they go and talk about, oh, well, you're just voting against your own self interest. No, motherfucker. You're voting against our self interests. You're voting against your self interest. You are voting against yourself and you are voting against every fucking one else. I don't want to fucking hear it.
I'm kind of at the sort of point where the the Democrat supporters have gotten so fucking rampant and all this kind of stuff. It really is a case that, like, I'm starting to think we should start shooting them. Um, because they are getting to, like, they will pretty much intentionally shoot everybody in the fucking knees just to spite one fucking person in the room.
Yeah, it'll be like that fucking um that Eric Andre show clip where he like shoots someone and goes, "Why'd you make me do that?"
Pretty much.
Or "Why'd you shoot yourself?" or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well,
I'm
that's what Corinne
fucking
Jean Pierre's been doing to you the whole fucking time. She'd been, oh, no, no, no. You didn't see that. What you saw was, and
oh god,
basically
yeah,
going,
and
why
that
you hitting
bullshit she
yourself? Why you
pulled
hitting yourself? Why you hitting yourself?
and that bullshit she pulled yesterday at the press conference where she just fucking ran away from reporters asking, "Hey, why is money being sent overseas and why are people are only getting a $750 per
Yeah,
family
disgusting.
per family during the Helene response."
Oh, no, no. It gets even worse than that, right? So they're not even getting the $750
And
because
that's
they've got to
money they
apply for
have
it
to give
online.
back to FEMA.
No, hang on. This is money they have to apply to get online when there's no phone service, no internet, and no nothing. So yeah, have fun getting the application through.
Right. And then you have Elon Musk, and say whatever the fuck you will about him. He's been giving away fucking Starlink. He's been giving away Starlink for people to use. And he's made it free in the affected areas. In like the 8
Yeah.
states or whatever it is that's affected by the fucking hurricane right now. With more to come. He's given them free service until such time everything is fucking hunky dory.
Well, that's kind of something I'm sort of expecting as a thing for something that, like, when I had the flood here like several years ago, the phones are out, pretty much fucking, like, the modems are out and all this kind of shit, and there was only barely a fucking mobile phone signal. but it was just enough that I could get fucking the basic fucking YouTube out of it, which was kept me from going insane.
Yeah.
But with the internet, they were giving me a certain amount of hours. I was like, oh, we'll give you this amount of hours for free, and then like hopefully we'll have it fixed by then. And then it got to a point where they'd realised, oh, hang on, you use so much gig, yeah, we're pretty much going to be having to update this every day. So don't worry, we'll just do that from now on and tell us when you get the modem back up. So I got free internet for like about 3 months until they could furnish me with a new modem, got that set up, and then yeah, fucking, I got about fucking eight or 900 gigs out of them. Fucking, so like that's basic communications, and like in the rural area, you really do fucking need that. And I just expect that fucking now that like communications would be something that they'd focus on since what's happened with me.
Yeah.
Like I just see that as like, well, that's what happened there. It should be happening everywhere else at this point. Why couldn't it? It was easy enough to do it here.
Yeah, agreed. Um, and then you look at the fucking disaster response and you wonder what's going on. Did you see the fucking video of the fucking, I think it was a Black Hawk or a Huey, I don't remember exactly which it
There's a
was.
Black Hawk, and he's did the rotor wash thing.
Yeah. And you know how
Yeah.
fucking dangerous that shit is?
Oh yeah. A
Like,
couple
I
of
know
funny
you
stories
know.
already.
Farty, I know you know. I'm just talking in general. Do people know how fucking dangerous that is? Do you know how fucked up that that movement of air is? Do you know how fucking torrential that could be to someone? You could fucking kill someone just by getting a
It's not
little bit
so much
closer.
it's not so much the air that's coming down off it, it's what it collects and then sends flying around. Because, the marquees and stuff like that might sound fun and games and all this, but you got to remember there's 4 fucking spears that are now flying uncontrolled all over the bloody joint.
Yeah,
Then there's other smaller items that might not seem very heavy, but when you start adding, fucking momentum and fucking, velocity to it, it then becomes exponentially fucking heavier with fucking kinetic energy. But then there's also the thing that you can actually wash shit back up in through the rotor cycle, so
right.
you can actually push air down and push something light enough that it gets caught up in the cavitation, which will be
I've
brought back
seen a
up above the
child
aircraft.
launched by a rotor wash. It
Yeah,
is not
well,
fucking
it'll come back
pretty.
up, but then it'll be drawn back down through the rotor system. So if it's picked up any fucking debris and shit like that, you can either fucking hit a rotor with it, or you can knock it into the air intakes of the engines, and like
Yeah.
it's not really a fucking good thing to do.
No, it's not.
And one funny story though is we had an army open day out at Holsworthy one day, fucking years and years and years ago, and they'd made this big brouhaha about putting this fucking marquee up above these bleachers where all the officers' wives and families were going to be sitting. So all the hoity-toity cunts were going to be there. Anyway, so they're doing this tactical exercise, and fucking this involved a couple of Land Rovers coming in, blokes come out, fire a bunch of blanks, throw a few smoke grenades, fucking take a position, and like a couple of Hueys will come in, the blokes will deploy and they'll retake that position, and and then the Chinook came in with the howitzer, with the 105 mil howitzer, and then when he came down, this is the big twin rotor job, fucking the CH-47 Chinook. And when he came down, fucking shit, the bloody rotor wash off of that fucking thing. Like, cunts who weren't underneath these bleachers and shit, they were walking back because, like, the dirt getting kicked up off this was, like, fucking being
Yeah.
sandblasted. Anyway, so we're sort of watching this, and we're like, I wonder how long that awning's going to be sitting there for. And sure as shit, just as I said it, the fucking thing went whee off into the fucking distance. I was like, oh, well,
But
so
yeah,
much for
like I
that.
said, I've seen a child, legitimate child, get uh fucking launched from a loader from a rotor wash. That shit is not fucking legitimate child. Like fucking, it was horrifying, dude. The fucking
Well,
don't do a fucking rotor
OSINT,
wash.
yeah, OSINT Defender made a comment sort of basically saying, oh, can you imagine being the poor National Guard pilot going out, flying around doing rescue relief just to accidentally rotor wash some people and then get branded as the worst person on the
You
internet?
don't accidentally
No,
do a
dickhead,
rotor
he's a
wash.
fucking military pilot. The cunt should be fucking aware of that, especially considering that, like, FOD is a thing in the military. You do a FOD walk or a FOD check. we call it an emu bob out here because of fucking like, basically you're all standing in a line.
Right.
You're walking along in this line abreast, and basically you're picking up every little tiny bit of dirt, bit shit, fucking metal, fucking nails, fucking every fucking thing. So there's not little bits of shit that gets washed up into the jet air intakes. And that's called a FOD march or a FOD walk or an emu bob in Australia because, like, yeah, well, the emu, look, when you bend over to pick something up, looks like an emu picking at something. So yeah, like that pilot should have been very fucking well aware of all the loose items that were on the ground that could have been FOD hazard for the people on the ground. But also, he should have been very well aware of a lot of that stuff could be kicked back up into the rotorcycle as well.
Yeah. Oh,
So, like, military pilots should have been
he
fucking
knew
aware of that.
damn fucking well what he was doing. He did it on purpose. He did it deliberately to destroy a fucking supply camp. And that's the end of story. You cannot tell me otherwise.
Yeah, there's not much of an excuse for that one. He'd better have a fucking good one.
No. Oh, that didn't really happen. Fuck you, it happened. I saw it fucking happen.
Well, speaking of helicopters, and this is another fucking stupid bloody thing, and some of the bullshit that fucking made me leave the Fireys in the first place, and it's universal because you get fucking tin heroes and little fuckwits who you get a little bit of rank and they take it too far, lets it go to their head. So I heard this one story of this bloke. He's got himself a Robinson R44. Now these are really really small helicopters. In fact, like they're insanely fucking dangerous inherently because they're just that touchy when you with their controls and whatnot. We've had a lot of accidents in Australia with them, but then considering though that they're cattle, like they're basically aerial cowboys. They literally fly the helicopters at cows and shit in the middle of the outback to get them to herd them in the places and stuff.
Right.
Because you're trying to herd them over thousands of kilometers. So
Yeah,
anyway,
a
yeah. So
fucking sheepdog ain't gonna fucking cut it.
no, and it does take too long with vehicles, with trucks. But like, yeah, the way they do it is that they literally fucking jink and dive and try and fucking play chicken with the cows and stuff with a helicopter. And of course, we're doing this like a few feet off the ground. Accidents are going to happen.
Right.
Lots of people have been hurt. And these helicopters are so fucking pathetic, right? That years ago I went for a fucking helicopter license, and the first bloke I approached, he's like, "Oh yeah, the R22 outside, which is the two-seater version." He's like, we get out there and open the door, and he's like, "Hang on, how much do you weigh?" I'm like, fucking 110, 120, something like that. Why? And he goes, "Oh shit, the floor's only got a 200 kilo fucking weight limit. Both of us can't get in the helicopter." Like, what the fuck's the point on this piece of shit? Anyway, so the R44
The
is the
point is,
four-seater version.
Farty, that you can't be a fat ass.
Yeah. Yeah, well, the R44 is the four-seater version. There was a bloke in North Carolina there who has his own one,
Right.
and he was willing to use his own fuel, his own wear and tear, and flight hours and all this kind of stuff. Because every time you use one of these things, you have to do some maintenance on it.
Yeah.
That's just you have to. And that costs. So every time this guy goes and flies, that's costing him money on top of fuel and everything else. And it's very fucking expensive to own an aircraft. Anyway, so this guy, he'd been getting messages from the locals, and him and his son, they'd been going out dropping out supplies and picking up people who are stranded and all this kind of stuff. And there was one sortie he was coming back from. They had the weight limit issue. Him and his son got up to this property, and there's a bloke and his wife were up there, elderly couple, and this bloke had to leave his son with the husband while he took the old lady down the hill.
Yeah.
So he gets down the hill and he sees a bunch of blokes tabbing in on foot, and basically gives them a bit of a signal, and they sort of clear a bit of an area, and he comes down, has a chat to them, and explains what he's doing, and they're all like, "Yep, not a problem. If this happened to me on the fire ground, it'd be like, well, okay, at least show us proof that you got a license and some hours on your logbook, and like just that minimal amount of responsibility, just to say, okay, you are a proper fucking helicopter pilot, right?
Yeah.
Because you're not going to let some cunt fucking just fly around who doesn't actually know what they're doing.
Right.
And if you can prove that he's like actually qualified and he's got some hours up and all this, like absolutely, mate. If you'd like to help us out, we're not going to say no. In fact, here's some fucking comms. We'll request a Fireground channel for you. Fucking we'll get some cunt from the the unit squad fucking mob that we're with. Fucking, he can do aerial communications and shit, and we coordinate that, set up a safe landing zone and all this. And while they were talking like that, some fucking little tin pot Hitler come fucking traipsing up. What the bloody hell's going on here? Who's this fucking helicopter? What's he fucking? If he fucking takes off, I'm having him arrested. And that'd be at the point where I'd be walking up to the cops and saying, right, this fucking cunt over here is ranting and raving and carrying on. He's not to be listened to anymore. And as far as I'm concerned, he can be ejected from the fireground.
Right.
Yeah, he's just been fucking sacked as far as we're concerned. You're not to listen to him anymore.
Yeah.
But like, and basically that had left this guy's kid and the old bloke now fucking stranded up on top of the hill, separated from his wife.
Yeah, I saw one story. Fucking someone was carting supplies. They had a big truck, and they were carting supplies over a stable road that had been washed out, but it was stable, right? They were carting supplies in. They had a big fucking trailer, covered and everything, bound down, every fucking possible safety procedure you could think of, dragging a fucking cart full of supplies, a trailer full of supplies, attached to your fucking tow hook, and going at a relatively slow speed to get through the shit without getting stuck and without getting, anything to keep them from fucking, just to be above the board. They got stopped by a fucking sheriff. The sheriff arrested them for trying to bring supplies in.
Yeah.
How are you people still voting blue for this shit?
Well, see, the thing is, North Carolina isn't a blue state, and that's the reason why they're getting fucked.
Yeah. But the police and the fucking military are on the blue payroll. And
well, the military's kind of dictated by the government anyways. I mean, it's like they're the cunts who pay their fucking paychecks. But the National Guard should be fucking, like, that's under the state legislation and that's under the fucking governor, and he should be fucking calling those cunts in, not the fucking federal government.
Right.
But here's another funny part about that too.
If FEMA steps in, and because FEMA technically can seize control, and it's one of those letter organizations that are just fucking bureaucrats that we're not going to get into it because I'm already fucking angry enough. It's one of those letter organizations, and if they step in and they go, well, this, that, and the other thing, we're helping with disaster response, you can go fuck yourself, then basically it's at the president's whims. And then you got a bunch of
I'd actually like to see that theory being tested after what happened in Texas. If say the North Carolina National Guard fucking just decided to round up all the FEMA agents and either detain them or kick them out the fucking state, I don't really think there's going to be much that the federal government's going to be able to do about that.
Unless the National Guard is in league with whoever is giving them orders to the contrary.
Yeah, but that's the tricky part about that too. But then you have a look at, again, what happened with Texas. You had other states donating their National Guard elements to Texas to help Texas protect their borders from the federal government.
Yeah. I don't think.
And then, sorry, on top of that, fucking Potato had to back down on that one too. So, like I said, if North Carolina National Guard decide to lock off borders, I don't really think Potato's going to do much.
Yeah.
Especially on top of that, considering fucking Camel Toe's fucking office tried to come out and landmine fucking Ron DeSantis by coming out and saying that, we've been trying to call Ron DeSantis and he's been ignoring us. So obviously he doesn't want all of our federal help. And Ron DeSantis' office come back with, she's the vice president. We want to hear from the president. Why we want to fucking speak to this dumb bitch? Why is fucking Potato sitting on a beach? Why isn't he calling us?
Yeah.
So that they're sort of, I'm taking that as an indication that they're pretty much saying, no, she's your new president. We're just not addressing the fact Potato hasn't been the president since that debate. And we've basically already subverted this election, and you've got your first black woman president, and you've already lost this election, and basically fucking, you've got an appointed female, just like what we did.
Yeah.
And you've got the worst part about that because when Barry the Bummer and Julia Gillard got in, had all these young fucking idiots going, "Oh yay, black people's, women's, yay!" And I'm like, look, you guys are going to learn one fundamental thing at the end of this, and that is simply that black fellas and women can fuck things up just as good, if not better, than old white cunts. So we may as well just stick with that. Now, when I said the old white cunts bit, I didn't mean find the oldest piece of shit you had in the fucking joint.
Yeah, you did.
Anyway, so you've got it fucking even worse now because you like before we split the novelty between two countries. You've now got the full fucking novelty. You've got the black person, and you've also got the fucking the posted female that never got elected.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really hate to be an American and like in a couple of months.
Not even.
Because let's put it this way, Julia Gillard was that fucking bad, right? She was never elected in. She usurped a bloke that was elected in called Kevin Rudd. Now, Kevin Rudd was a bit of a dud, but who gives a shit? Fucking, she fucking basically ousted him and then had to call an election. And then that election didn't go the way that everybody was expecting it to because of two fucking bloody independent fucking MPs who said that they were going to give all their votes to the Liberals. So we voted for these cunts, and then they fucking like when all the votes were counting and like they had to give their preferences, they go, hang on, we got to have to think about this for a minute. We're like, oh no, you fucking don't.
Yeah.
You fucking dirty bastards, don't you fucking do it. Oh, I think we'll go with Gillard. You dirty cunt. And yeah, Rob Oakeshott 3 years later was like, I'm going to, just bow out of politics from now on because I think I've done my dash. And was like, no, after the last fucking election, no cunts fucking vote for you ever again, you untrustworthy fuck. Anyway, so she gets appointed for a second term. And by the end of that term, she was that fucking bad that they ousted her with the dude that she replaced in the first place. Yes, we replaced her with Kevin Rudd. And unfortunately, Kevin Rudd only had enough time to basically call another election and do absolutely nothing. So he's a bit of a fucking, like I said, he was a dud.
Yeah.
He pretty much only spent like fucking 5 months out of his entire prime ministerialship, and he was appointed twice.
Yeah. So, continuing on with the whole disaster response bullshit going on, Milton, right, is happening right now. I think Helene has already come and gone, and Milton is now hitting the area pretty hard. There are backups for miles and miles and miles of people trying to evacuate out of the states, out of the area. There's people coming from this from the from the southern United States to as far as my state, as far as Wisconsin, as far as fucking Minnesota and Michigan, my neighboring northern states, Ohio, all of these northern Midwest states are taking people in to get, because they have family or some shit, and people are starting to fucking get out of these storm paths, right? They're somehow getting out, even though they're fucking stuck there. And this hurricane is expected to get up to like 250 or 220 miles an hour.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to be stuck in a fucking car while that shit's going on around you.
Yeah, obviously. It'll fucking throw you around like a fucking cat with a fucking paper ball.
I'd be more worried about a giant fucking tree trunk being fucking pile drive through the fucking car window.
I would be more concerned with being in the car when you get lifted into the fucking sky with it.
Well, as long as you didn't land on the roof, you should be fine.
Farty, a crater is still a crater.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it'd be even worse if you're at a fucking Tesla. Like, would it be bad enough you get...
Oh, God, yeah, you'd fucking...
you get rained on, thrown around, and then fucking burst in the bloody flames.
Yeah.
And with all the water pissing down around it, none of it's going to put it out either.
Now, let's be honest here. It's not just a Tesla. It's the fucking electric cars that everybody has to have. Because by 2030, you're going to have an electric car.
And if you have a BYD, You are so fucking fuckity fucking fucked. It's not fucking funny, fucking. I fucking shit you not. They call these cars in China, BYD, burn your driveway or burn your dwelling. That's how
Yeah.
fucking often they catch fire. And then since one caught, like a whole fucking BYD dealership caught fire in South Korea, we're now also attaching burn your dealership to that moniker as well. So yeah, don't buy BYD, and if you have, you're an idiot.
But I want to BYD. Why can't I BYD?
Of
Or
course, you'll burn your dream.
would that be BMD?
Bowel movement desired.
Or burn my own burn my dick?
BMM, burn my money.
Burn my money. Okay. We'll go with that.
That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah, we'll go with that. We'll we'll accept it. Oh.
Another thing that sort of strikes me about this too is that like you got the Democrats back in, another natural fucking disaster. Funnily enough, the black person's in charge again with this one. And you have a look at like this is just like fucking bloody was it bloody hurricane fucking wasn't bloody Charlotte?
I
Uh,
I don't fucking know, dude.
was that one where everyone was all stuck in this fucking football stadium for like a couple of months and it just turned into like complete fucking debauchery. Like there's like people
Um
getting raped and murdered fucking everywhere and like yeah, that was the thing that Kanye West fucking came out on national TV as Barack Obama doesn't care about black people.
yeah, the answer that you're looking for already is yes.
And then fucking poor fucking Austin Powers was standing there with a stupid shit-eating grin on his face, and when Kanye said that, he's like, "Huh? What? Huh? What?" He's fucking looking at him with this sheer look of fucking terror on his face, like, "We're gonna get fucking killed for this. Clinton's gonna come and get us, you bastard."
Yeah,
And now you
I
know why Austin Powers never had a fourth installment.
because the movie sucked.
No, it's because he was standing next to Kanye.
Mm,
Uh,
it's because he wasn't hanging out with Diddy enough.
but yeah,
Um,
it was funny though that like Barry was in charge of that one, and he fucked that one up completely. Now the Democrats are back in, and Camel Toe's basically in charge of this one, and she's fucking it up completely.
yeah, I agree. So, I want to close off this segment by telling people in the area, if you can hear us, if not, please fucking stay safe. Do not rely on the government to do any of that work for you. Um, because it's just not gonna fucking happen. Okay, our government has turned on us. Our country is broke, and that's another thing I wanted to talk about. Our fucking country is broke. Okay, when we don't have enough money to give to our own citizens, our country is broke, and it was done by fucking design.
Yeah.
I don't know who's to point fingers at, but I know it was done by design, because you don't incompetently piss away uh, the national deficit, the national deficit in a single year. You just don't piss away 30 something billion, 300 something billion dollars in a single year.
It's far worse than that. Every 100 days this year, your deficit's gone up by $1 trillion.
Did I use the
Every
wrong? Did I
hundred
use the
days.
word? I meant. Excuse me. I meant to say trillion. $300 trillion.
Yeah.
That's a
Well,
lot of fucking money.
it's not actually. It's when Trump left office, the national deficit was at $15 trillion.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but in the 4 years that Biden's been in, he's more than doubled it. It's above 30 trillion. It's like the last time I checked, it
Right.
was like 32 trillion.
Right. And
And that's more than 100 days ago. So that's now probably more like 33, 34
we have
trillion.
spent we have spent on Ukraine, and we have spent on other countries that aren't us, that and Other countries that aren't us and illegal immigrants, we have spent $300 trillion in a single year. In a single fucking year. The country is bankrupt. All right? There is no more money to be had. Taxes are going to go through the fucking roof. There will no longer be tax returns. You will no longer get your money back from taxes. That is the situation we are in. And then when people tell me I'm just a naysayer and a doomsayer for saying that we don't have a fucking choice in our government, prove me fucking wrong.
Well, we'll definitively have the answers of that at the end of this year. Because if you cunts have still got camel toe, then that statement is correct. Because I don't believe for a fucking start that potato. I don't believe for a start that potato won the last one. I'm not going to buy for a single fucking Leone that fucking camel toe's got any hope of winning this. So if she gets in, you cunts better fucking rise up, or I'll nuke you myself.
When she gets in, and please fucking do. All right, just let me know what's happening because I want to help.
Yeah.
I want in on that party farty. As long as my cat is safe, that's all I fucking care about. At this present moment in time, that's all I fucking care about. Once she's gone and no longer with us, then I don't know.
Well, all the people listening in North Carolina and all that kind of stuff with the things, yeah, I hope you weren't expecting the fiery here to give you any advice because unfortunately, guys, you guys are already fucked. All the resources that I could think of has already been used. Can't give you any advice, guys. You're on your own. Sorry.
Only thing I want to say to anyone that is in the area that are in the affected areas, please be safe. Please get the fuck out of there. Please. And I'm going to not make this statement political. Please get the fuck out of there and fucking build shit for yourself. Okay?
And if you don't have to abandon some cunt, don't.
Yeah, don't leave anyone left. Don't leave anyone behind if it's at all possible. If it's an us or them situation and you're going to only be putting yourself in danger, then it's got to be them. That's the only thing I got to say.
Yeah, there's no point a rescuer getting fucking hurt and becoming a fucking rescuee themselves.
Yeah.
That's a fundamental thing they teach you also in the fire brigades as well. It's not so much cowardice to run away from the bloody fire if it gets too bad. It's more of a point of like, well, you just make things worse if you became a casualty too.
Yeah.
So yeah.
There's no point in risking your own ass to pull someone out of a potential mudslide situation when you're just gonna get buried.
Yeah, especially if you're the only rescuer.
Yeah.
And you both fucked it.
So there was some other shit that happened this last week, couple weeks actually, that we didn't get a chance to talk to. How's about the fucking boat farty?
Oh, the Royal New Zealand Navy. Ah, yes. Oh, well, some insidious things have been coming out of the land of the long white cloud.
Fucking female drivers is what it comes down to.
Well, not just that. I think the biggest threat to the New Zealand military at this point in time in history are women.
Didn't I just say women?
Not the drivers. Women in general.
Oh.
Okay, because New Zealand used to have one of the greatest fucking strike wings on the planet, right? The things that they could do with these 50-year-old fucking aircraft would blow your fucking mind, right? In like the early 2000s, during a red flag exercise up in fucking Singapore, the Kiwis could get in with these old fucking Skyhawks with no fucking ECM gear, no fucking chaffle flares or nothing, right? These are just clean skin, fucking old school, fucking just a jet engine with some hydraulics and flaps and shit. Like this is like fucking basic fucking jet aircraft. It's the A4 Skyhawk, right? Um, we used to have a bunch of them for the HMAS Melbourne, and we end up giving all of ours to New Zealand, plus all the spares, which they were fucking chuffed with because they didn't want to fucking pay for any of these planes to begin with. We forced them to get them just to keep up some capabilities. And then when the Kiwis were like, oh, well, the Aussies are getting rid of theirs, well, then that means that we can get rid of ours. Well, we gave them like fucking 30 years worth of fucking spare parts for all, like theirs and ours. So we could effectively keep their aircraft flying forever. And that
And for
pissed them off
those of
because
you who don't know, chuffed is an Australian term for meaning very happy or excited.
it's actually more British than anything else. But yeah, it does come down here.
Shut up.
Anyway,
Let
yeah,
me get it
bloody
wrong.
fucking yeah, like these guys could get in under the fucking radar and all this kind of shit, and they had F-15s and shit, not knowing where the fuck they were. And like the F-15 should be able to see one of these things for fucking 20, 30 bloody miles. But these cunts were skimming in so fucking low, like yeah, like basically their operating altitude, they have to actually raise their landing gear to descend to their operating altitude. Um, so right, there's this dumb bitch called Helen or Helene. Fucking, she became prime minister because New Zealand likes to be all hip and groovy and fucking progressive and shit. Um, and Helene decided that that New Zealand doesn't need an air force anymore, and that they'll just go and piss the Skyhawks off and fuck the pilots. So most of the New Zealand pilots ended up coming over to Australia and ended up joining the
So,
RAAF.
to cut to the chase, what you're saying is one Helen is fucked the United States and a different Helen is fucking New Zealand.
Oh yeah, it gets even better than that too. Because a few years after that, another fucking dumb bitch who I can't fucking remember, um, she said something about fucking New Zealand not needing frigates and destroyers and shit anymore. So what do we need ships with guns on them? Ooh, we don't go to war with guns and shit anymore. Yeah, well, fucking like, yeah, we'll just let the Australians do it. And we're all like, hang on a fucking minute. No, we can't do this by ourselves, guys. So they've basically only got like support and supply ships and stuff like that, and they're supposed to be our backup that way. We've got all the guns, they've got all the supplies. Um, then there's been successive governments that have been fucking screwing the New Zealand military fucking ridiculously hard. They just hate the fucking military there for some fucking reason, and it's bizarre because they've got one of the few militaries on the planet with the cleanest skin in the world. Like they're the ones that have had the least amount of fucking accusations of war crimes or anything like that, any improprieties overseas. Like the only thing we got to really worry about is when the Maoris get a skin full of piss in them. That's the only real thing you got to worry about with the New Zealanders, because like you're there for a while waiting for them to wear themselves out before you drag them off. You don't fight these cunts. That's part of the reason why we like having them on our side. There's nothing better than having like a fucking 6.5 foot tall, fucking 5.5 foot wide, fucking gigantic fucking brick shit house of a fucking Maori standing behind you with his arms crossed when you're trying to tell some cunt off. Because then you see the eyes of the bloke you're telling off sort of go up a bit, and then he realizes what's standing behind you.
Yeah.
But they're some of the most friendliest fucking cunts on the planet. They're so fucking great to work with, Maoris. Oh, I fucking love working with them. They're like a human forklift. They do all the heavy work and they don't care. And it's like, don't worry, bro, I got this. But fucking anyway, they've been neutering the military like so fucking hard. It's not fucking funny. And now we got one Sheila who fucking was apparently she was formerly trained as a school teacher over in the UK. Wanted to start a restaurant, but instead of sticking in the kitchen, she decided to fucking get a job with the Royal Navy. God knows what she was fucking doing there, but then somehow became a captain in the Royal New Zealand Navy and promptly went and fucking crashed a survey ship into the island of fucking Samoa.
That sounds like a
Well,
party.
fucking woman. Well, woman driver, there's your fucking problem. But Jesus Christ, if you're going to fuck something up, you're going to make it a good one. Like, this would either be the greatest fucking accolade or the worst fucking thing to have on your record, because that was a fucking good effort. That ship, that one fucking ship that she sank, right? She ran it aground on the reef, and then basically everyone evacuated successfully with two people had minor injuries. But then the ship got sort of rocked around a bit, and the reef made the hole a bit worse. And then she started to heel over to one side, and then caught fire, and then fucking sank. It was this long cavalcade of bloody cluster fuckery like you wouldn't fucking believe. It was like, how badly can this bitch fucking fuck this up?
Would you call it a trilogy of errors?
Oh, there's a cacophony, cacophony of cluster fuckery.
Okay.
But so not only that, right? This ship, right? It was a civilian survey ship that fucking the New Zealanders have bought on the cheap because it'd be far more expensive to make a bespoke military vessel to do survey work. Anyway, fucking and its tonnage was the equivalent of half the total tonnage of the Royal New Zealand Navy. So she either made a massive fuck up with that, or she's one of the greatest fucking enemy captains on the planet, and she wiped out the half of the country's entire fucking navy in one foul swoop. But that's neither here nor there when you consider that this thing had lots of cranes and fucking lifting jibs and stuff like that, tons and tons of hydraulics.
Yeah.
And Samoa's got some pristine waters. So now there's this dirty, great big fucking ship that's sitting there leaching diesel and oil and like bunker oil and fucking hydraulic fluid all around Samoa.
Yeah.
So it's not only just that she sunk a fucking ship.
Yeah. So I've got a couple of breaking stories right now for you, Farty.
Yeah.
The first off is, and I'm just gonna rapid fire this real quick. The first off is, somehow there's a bunch of furries on my feed, right, on my timeline and shit. I don't know how it happened. I don't really care. I got nothing against furries. I do have something against child and animal fuckers. Um, maybe.
Just with the furries, just pat them on the head, tickle them on the balls, and they'll walk off and leave you alone.
Yeah, I have no problem with furries. Some of them are fucking batshit out there, okay? Some of them are more deeply disturbed than Farty and I combined. But some of them are fine, right? It just fucking happens. Some of them are just, fucking weirdos, and but for some reason they just showed up on my timeline. Fine, whatever, cool. Um, and a bunch of them are going vote Trump, and I'm deeply, deeply confused by it, but whatever. The second thing I wanted to discuss is China has stated Soros is a bad dude.
Well, that one's got me buggered.
Yeah.
Because when Putin came out about a month ago and said, "Well, you see, the Americans think that we have to support black women, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to support the Kamala Harris." Fucking, and they did that just to fucking, well, you want to vote for Kamala? Well, Putin's fucking, siding with us. So yeah,
Right.
this one here sort of got me buggered. What's the ultimate goal for that one? What are the Chinese going to gain out of fucking supporting
Branding
Trump?
George Soros as the
That's right.
enemy of the world.
But it's not like he's getting in anyways. It's kind of like they may as well start talking shit about me so as I can't win the election. For all the good that would do. It's like I just don't get their end goal with that one.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of it. I just thought it was interesting, which is why I chuckled earlier in the stream. Um, I I got nothing. I got
But
nothing. I don't fucking know.
yeah, just kind of just sort of seems like for all the effort that was put into that, it was just sort of like George is just standing there, just minding his business, reading the paper or something like that, and some little slaphead bastard comes up, kicks him in the nuts for no reason, and just runs off. So what did he fucking do that for? Like, didn't do anything.
It's like the bully in school who keeps bullying some kid, and the kid finally fucking hits him back, and then the bully starts crying like a little bitch.
Mhm.
I
Fucking,
I don't know. I got nothing on this one. I don't fucking know. I like
Yeah, that is a weird one. I've no idea why the fuck they do that.
I'm just scratching my head. Like, obviously, Soros is fucking behind a lot of sinister shit going on in the world. Obviously, the
Hmm.
man's got fucking enough money to buy and fucking buy and sell everyone on the planet twice over.
Oh, I think if he's going to be that fucking generous, I'm going to be very fucking greedy in
Well,
that
this dude
case.
just bought up 200. This bought up just bought up 200 plus American radio stations. Just
Well,
because.
that's already. If he thinks he can buy me, my price will be exactly 1 cent short of what he has currently,
I'll take his
and
money.
then see if he can buy me.
I'll take his money. Fuck it. I'll sell out.
But that's the point, though. Like he won't be able to buy me then, because after he's already paid that part, there'll be the fucking the hidden fine print that comes out. It's like, oh, by the way, it's paid for play, so we've got loot crates and all this kind of shit. And if you want me to do anything else, it's going to be more money, son. It's going to be more than $1. Do
You signed the
you still want to play this
contract.
game? Yeah, do you still want to play this game, son? By the way, my god complex is a ruse. I'm actually the devil.
Oh, if that's the case, I'll take the finest room in hell, please.
So that's the ball pit full of dildo room, man.
Sure, I'll take the
Or,
ball
or as I
pit
like to
full of
call it, the
dildos.
diddy pit.
I'll take the ditty pit, thank you. That sounds like fucking heaven, especially when you're fucking swimming around a lake of fucking brimstone and fire. That sounds like
Man,
fucking
fucking hell.
heaven.
I really so want to do that now. I want to open a themed brothel just so as I can have one room with a ball pit full of fucking dildos just to call it the Diddy room.
And it's a room no one ever goes into because they think it's a little too weird. But it's a
Hmm.
room that you have just because.
Well, actually, it's probably the room that you make the most money off because the really, 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 really weird cunts are the ones that want to go in there and they're like, yeah, film us and all that shit, sell that.
The problem with a fucking dildo pit is that you'd have to constantly fucking be pouring Lysol and bleach and fucking isopropyl down into it.
Yeah.
Like constantly. Even if you're not letting people into it, you're still got to do it just for the sake of fucking, cleaning it. And then if you put the wrong shit in there, my understanding is the silicone breaks down and it fucking starts to merge with other shit that's also silicone and it just like kind of forms into a big fucking lump. So you'd have to also be dumping gallons and gallons of fucking silicone safe lubricant on them.
Okay, so you know how there's like a thing for blokes if they've got a sore right hand or right hand in the cast, and it's usually like it's because they got wankers cramp. So I'm wondering if there's like the Hollywood actor version of that, and it's like if some Sheila comes on set and she's got like a yeast infection or something like that, they go, oh yeah, she went to a Diddy party. She was in the ball pit.
Ball pit taking on a very, very different meaning here.
Yeah. Hey, who would have thought that there'd be something worse than someone pissing in a ball pit? Remember TumblerCon? What the fuck it was?
I don't know.
Okay, you got to go look this up because this was funny as fuck. Years ago, some stupid bloody diesel dykes on Tumblr decided that they were going to have a con, a
Oh, okay. I
convention.
remember what you're talking about. That was DashCon in
DashCon,
2014,
that's the one.
and
Yeah.
it was held in Schaumburg, Illinois, because it was. I remember because it was close to me. I heard about it, and all they fucking had was a ball pit and I think a moon bounce, and it's like Schaumburg is like 2 maybe 3 hours depending on traffic, 2 or 3 hours away from me. And they only did it the 1 year.
Yes, they tried ripping everybody off.
Yeah, and there was nothing there. And yeah.
Oh yeah, like if you don't know about this, yeah, go look it up. The Internet Historian's done one on it. There's a couple other YouTubers who've done some funny takes on it too, and yeah, pretty much the highlight of the day was that someone pissed in the ball pit.
From the Wikipedia page, DashCon was a convention primarily catering to users of the blogging service Tumblr, with a particular emphasis on fandoms. Held over the weekend of July 11, 2014, sorry, at the Renaissance Schaumburg Convention Center Hotel in Schaumburg, Illinois.
Fuck, that was 10 years ago. Fucking hell.
Right? Um, that was about the time we met Farty.
Yeah.
That happened a little after we met, but yeah.
Yeah.
The inaugural convention quickly became infamous for allegations of mismanagement and corruption among organizers, an alleged abrupt demand by hotel for an upfront payment of cash for use of its facilities, and celebrity guests being forced to drop out of the convention after they were informed by the hotel that they would be responsible for paying for their rooms. A small ball pit placed in one of the halls became a meme after organizers offered attendees an extra hour in the pit along with raffle and concert tickets as reimbursement for the canceled panel. Organizers for DashCon initially stated they would hold a second DashCon in 2015 despite the issues faced with the inaugural edition, but officially announced via Tumblr post in September 2014 that DashCon LLP would be dissolved and have all its assets liquidated, meaning they would not have a second convention. The post also denied claims that similarly themed convention Emoticon was just a rebranded DashCon. Yeah, because I am sure they didn't want to cover up they're doing a new convention.
Fucking, it's the same thing as Firefest too. Well, that was a massive clusterfuck and a half, and the bloke who fucking organised that, yeah, as soon as the first one fucked, I was like, oh,
Firefest.
I'll try for another one next year.
Listen, Firefest was nothing but fucking, what was that Nick Cage movie with the fucking bees? Was it Wicker Man? Yeah,
Something
it
like
was
that, yeah.
Wicker Man. Firefest was just a live action role play Wicker Man event.
Jeez, it was funny as fuck to watch though.
Yeah, they said they had all
Fuck.
these celebrities and shit, but you know what? We don't have them, so you know. Oh,
Well,
and it
see,
was
like, yeah,
spelled Fyre, by the way.
yeah, and fucking, but yeah, back at Dashcon though, that was another thing there that like, yeah, fucking Camel Toe's taken a fucking play out of their book and all this, like by saying like, oh, we're gonna have these acts showing up to our events and shit like that, and then when everybody shows up, like, oh dear, the act pulled out at the last second. Sorry about that, guys, and you find out that the act probably never signed on them in the first place.
Yeah.
That's what happened at DashCon. Like, you know, they had a couple of people showing up. One lot came in, took one look at the place, and went, "Fuck this shit," and went home. And then when everybody else heard the first lot went, "Fuck this shit," and "Fuck this shit, I'm out," then the rest were all like, "Fuck this shit, I'm out," and fucking. But then,
Yeah.
like, there was some supposedly like one of the like Welcome to Nightshade or something like that was some mob. I think they wrote a book or some fucking shit, and I'm going to do a reading. I don't know. It sounds like some real weird gay hippie shit to me. Anyway, fucking yeah, they apparently were never even booked.
Yeah.
Like they might have been. I think they were like they went as far as asking. And they said, "Yeah, well, here's our booking price," and nothing was ever said about it after that. Fucking
I don't know why, but I just saw a video where some guy replaced, and I'm sorry to sidetrack, but I just saw a video of someone replace the chandelier in their dining room with like a knockoff Tritatron. You know what that is, right?
the what, Tron?
A Tritatron. It's like those. It's like when you go to a sporting event and they got those four monitors, those four
Oh yeah,
really
yeah.
fucking big ones. Yeah, this is like a knockoff mini version. They put in their fucking dining room and took the chandelier out and replaced it with this.
Yeah, yeah. In the era of fucking virtual reality headsets and shit like that, can access the internet and watch TV and shit.
No, no, no. It's an actual one in a home. I'll,
Yeah, yeah. But we're at the point today where like it's like Back to the Future too, where fucking Marty Junior sitting there and he's watching TV on his own glasses. Like, what's the point of having like insituated monitors fucking in one place of the room when you can actually just
yeah,
wear the screen on your face from now on,
I
nowadays?
suppose. Um,
But it's probably is one of those things, like you'd see like Knight Rider back in the 80s, and you're like, oh, I'd so dearly love to have one of those, kind of thing. Make it up yourself. He probably was a big sports fan. He's like, oh, I used to love going to the game. I watch the big screens. Hell, I wanted to have a fucking like a actual proper pilot seat and bloody joystick and yoke and all this kind of fucking shit just for playing Pacific Fighters once.
yeah. Um, my brain just shut off. I think it's time for me to get some sleep pretty soon here.
Hmm.
Um, I heard you say something, and then my brain just like it processed, and then it just went poof.
Well, shit, you might want to have to remember what we're fucking talking about because guess what my fucking head just did.
Did your head just do the same fucking thing?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
So, okay. Um, all right. Well, here's another one. Victor Boot. Fucking. For those who don't remember who Victor Boot is, go watch the movie Lord of War. And that's the Disney version of who this fucker is. It's called The Merchant of Death. Fucking. He's responsible for basically just about every fucking AK-47 has been used in every bloody guerrilla war and bush war and shit for the last like 30 something fucking years. Um, Now, I reckon that like the reason why a lot of this all kicked off was because the Brits, the MOD came out a couple of years ago and they were saying that they'd found this massive cache of old fucking Warsaw Pact era fucking AK-47s, and it's sort of kind of like there's only a few cunts that have like 30 or 40,000 of these things sitting around ready to go. Fucking oh shit, Victor Boot's in the news again. Oh well, what's this all about? Oh, the Russians want him back, eh? Geez, this sounds funny.
Are you
Sounds
talking
like the
about that
MOD.
fucking arms dealer?
Yeah, it
It
seems
took me a
like
second
the
to
MOD.
register.
Yeah, the MOD got fucking their hands on a couple of his stashes, and the Russians were sort of like, "Hey, hang on a minute." So fucking here comes Brittany fucking Griner, the stupid fucking idiot cunt fuckwit thing, and like, yeah, no, I don't give a fuck. I'm not being fucking homophobic or anything. This individual is a nondescript fucking piece of meat and fucking bones. Is a useless scumbag fucking cunt of a piece of shit. And that fucking scumbag should be drug out into the street and belted to within an inch of its fucking life, and then everyone communally use it as a fucking toilet. Because this is what that stupid fuckwit did.
Yeah.
That stupid fuckwit went into a country where you basically get a death sentence for fucking small amounts of tiny drugs because they've had a fucking big crocodile problem over there. They've just gotten over like their own fucking fentanyl epidemic kind of thing with crocodile. Like fucking they don't want any more of that shit in there, and doesn't fucking matter where you come from. Russia is not America, and fucking American laws don't apply to you there.
Yeah.
Fucking so this dumb bitch brings fucking drugs into a fucking country where it's like, yeah, this is one of the ones you don't do that.
Yeah.
Then
It's
causes a fucking
equivalent to
international
fucking.
incident.
It's equivalent to going base jumping with one of those fucking flying squirrel suits and then
Yeah,
attaching a fucking a flare on it just because.
yeah, and not
It's a
only that, but
dumb
this,
idea.
yeah, but this dumb cunt fucking, goes and does this in a country where they really don't give a fuck about your personal fucking feelings, and they're gonna pull your pants down and tell you what fucking gender you are, and if something fucking flops out, you're going to a bloke's prison, regardless of what you fucking think. And there's nothing much that any cunt can fucking do about that. See, this is how much we had to go through to fucking get this stupid little shit out of a Russian prison. We had to let go one of the worst fucking people we've got fucking breathing on the planet at the moment, just so this stupid little fuckwit wouldn't go off to a fucking male jail and have its fucking head kicked in where it should have been. right? Now, because this fucking asshole has let fucking Victor Boot out, the Russians absolutely grabbed him up and went, fucking cool, plausible deniability, lovely. Come take a seat over here, Mr. Boot. Nice to have you back there, son. And we now know this is an actual fact because the Wall Street Journal the other day went and reported that, Victor Boot's back in business. He's currently facilitating a $10 million deal with the fucking Houthis. So thanks, Brittany, you fucking piece of shit. Can you just fuck off, stick your head in a bucket and stop fucking breathing for like a year? Like,
Yeah.
preferably with a bucket full of fucking water? Can you just drive yourself off a fucking cliff? Can you do fucking something other than continue to fucking breathe? Because quite honestly, you are the one person that we can fucking quite easily kick off this fucking planet and let you float off to another fucking universe, you fucking piece of shit. What a fuck, like how fucking, like, we're talking about how badly people can fuck things up with one fucking thing here, right? Okay, so I was giving shit about female drivers and, like one woman taking out half of New Zealand's Navy in one foul swoop. But this dumb bitch, fucking, this guy, I'm not even calling this dumb bitch a fucking bitch anymore. It's a fucking bloke. This stupid fucking idiot fucking bloke has now gone and got God knows how many more people fucking killed because now there are so many fucking unvetted fucking weapons going around now that we now don't know of. Fucking, and we're going to have to be chasing this fucker all over the bloody place like we were back in the fucking 90s. Like, Jesus fucking Christ, can someone grab this stupid fuck by her fucking feet and swing it head first against a fucking tree or something? Like, you don't believe how badly this fucking idiot cunt has fucked things up.
Just give him the fucking Jason X sink treatment. Are you familiar with that treatment, Farty?
No.
Okay, so in the movie Jason X, a roided up fucking Jason who's been altered by nanotech to fucking just be an Uber Jason of sorts, grabs some bitch by the back of her fucking head and sticks it into a sink full of liquid nitrogen, sticks her face into a sink full of nitrogen, picks it up, looks at it, and then slams it on a counter. Best fucking scene in the movie. But
I can top that one.
It's so much fun to fucking watch. And the way he does it is so fucking, it's so much fucking fun to watch, Farty. You should watch Jason X because it's just, it's a fun ride. It's a terrible movie, but it is fucking hilarious to watch. He grabs one of the simulated campers. They make a hologram simulation of the campers, like a hard light hologram. And then, like, they get in their sleeping bags, and he picks them both up in the sleeping bags, and he's fucking wrapping them around a tree and shit.
Fucking, I got one that can beat that nitrogen one. Because there's only a few scenes in movies that have actually made me viscerally have a reaction to it, and two of them were in the same movie, and it was fucking Endgame. There's the bit where fucking Wanda comes up and like says to Thanos, like, "You took everything for me." He goes, "I don't know who you are," and he's like, "Well, you will." And that's the point where I remembered, hang on a minute, she's written by Joss Whedon. I've seen Joss Whedon write fucking bloody pissed off witches before. Oh, Thanos, you are so fucking fucked, son. It's not fucking funny.
Oh, God. I don't even remember any fucking thing about Endgame. It was so fucking dumb.
Well, anyway, basically, like, Wanda fucking was the only one that hurt him that bad that he was willing to kill himself to get her off him because he called in fucking danger close on his own position. He literally fucking was bombarding his own position to get her off him. Fucking, but then there's the end, the part at the end where, like, it's like, I am inevitable. And I just like, yeah, but he's Iron Man. So, and then they did the line, and I was like, yes, they did the line, yes. There's another movie called it was the name of a fucking computer game that they just did a rock version of it. Or the Rock did a version of it. It was like a giant monkey with fucking destroying
Rampage. God.
There was another one.
I checked out of that movie 5 minutes in. Oh, it was so
no,
terrible.
there's another one. There is another one that is far fucking better. There's this really obscure small movie that's like, they're fucking shit, 17, 18 years old now.
I hate Dwayne Johnson with a fucking passion.
No, this one doesn't have Dwayne Johnson in it. This is a completely different movie. Fucking, it's about this kid who's in like this small country town, and he's just going about his business, and he starts getting these packages in the mail, and yeah, he's just doing all this stuff, and you're not really understanding what he's doing, and then you finally figure out that all this packaging and shit that he's getting is all this fucking super fucking sophisticated body armor with like extra fucking like sappy plates and shit on the outside. It's like dovetailed, overlapping fucking like shell plating on the outside. Like this cunt's super fucking armed up. Like,
Ken?
hey,
Are you talking about Ken?
nope,
Oh, it
no.
sounds familiar.
But anyway, so yeah, he fucking he basically sets off this fucking ambush where he gets the cops to fucking come all the way out of town. He blows their cars up, and he comes back into town, and just starts fucking shooting and it's just like a 40-minute long fucking massacre. Like, it's like no shit. You just walk around. Goes into a cafe, and like the one running thing was like every morning he goes into a cafe and he asks for a coffee with extra foam, and the barista's a fuckwit and keeps giving him no foam. So he walks in, and he's all done up like this, and the barista's figured out who he is, and he's like, "Oh shit!" He's like, "Yeah, I want a coffee with extra foam. I wanted to make sure it's got extra fucking foam in it today." Anyway, so he's got in the coffee, and he's like, "Look at it. See, this is what I'm talking about, man. There's no foam in this. I'm going to give you 5 seconds." He's like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm going to give you 5 seconds. Run, motherfucker." So the guy starts running out. He's like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And fucking shoots him in the middle of the street. There's another bit where like he's just walking around, just fucking ganking cunts fucking running away from him. And there's like this part of the building where it's like the two buildings, one sort of recessed in from the other one. And there's a girl hiding in the corner of these buildings, and he comes around past this thing. He's like, "Oh, hi." And he starts fucking reloading both of his fucking SMGs. He's like, yeah, hell of a day, hey.
It sounds like fucking falling down.
And just fucking ganks her. There's another one that fucking he goes into a fucking a hairdresser's thing and fucking bloody shoots all the Sheilas there because they're all fucking bitches to him. He goes into a bank and he visually burns the money, and it's all a ruse. He ends up fucking escaping and shit, like gets away with it scot-free and everything. But that one there, it was like, I was having a fucking, that was the best fucking wank I had over that movie.
Are you talking about Laser Blast?
No, Rampage.
Oh, it's called Rampage.
Yeah. It's a movie called Rampage. You've never heard of it because it was a really fucking low budget, obscure movie fucking like from about almost 20 years ago now.
All I'm getting is the 2018 bullshit video game bullshit movie.
Type in, was it, I think it might be 2008 or 2009.
2009. Rampage is a 2009 action film written to... Oh, you a bowl. Oh. Oh, God. Really, Farty?
What?
Ooey bowl.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, it's a slow as fuck movie, but when
God.
it kicks off, it kicks off. Fucking but yeah, anyway, getting to the fucking point of this, a long roundabout way of fucking things. Like the other visceral fucking reaction that I had to a movie, and this is where the face smashing and all this kind of shit comes in, is the last part of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, when fucking Brad Pitt's character gets stabbed in the leg, and he just sort of looks at it, he taps the knife a couple of times, and he just grabs the Sheila by the head, and then he smashes her face into a couple of things, and you're like, "Oh yeah, that's it." And then he keeps going and going and going, and then he fucking changes to another piece of the house. He starts smashing the fucking head up against that, and he's going and going and going, and then he starts smashing into the fucking posters and fucking pictures on the fucking walls and other bits of walls, and there's like this fucking bloody this fucking shelf on the wall. He's fucking mashing her fucking face into that, and then he's mashing her face in the phone. It's like this goes on, and I'm just like, yes, fuck her up, get her, fuck her, yeah.
I only remember.
Well, that was another good wank, that one.
I only really, off the top of my head, remember one visceral reaction I had to a movie, and that's in I want to say From Hell. Hang on.
Well, it's really funny to watch the reactions to that fucking Once Upon a Time in Hollywood scene because, like, you got all these people who think it's only going to be a couple of hits, and then it keeps going and
Oh,
going and
no.
going.
Yep.
You're like, oh my god, oh fuck, oh shit, oh, fuck.
So
I think she's dead already.
So there's one I remember in From Hell, and that's a movie about Jack the Ripper. It's got Johnny Depp in it, I think. And yeah, I think yeah, 2001. Johnny Depp, Heather
Oh
Graham,
yeah,
Ian Holm, Robbie
back in his
Coltrane.
arty farty days.
Huh?
Back in his arty farty days.
Yeah. So there's this scene where they're like in a carriage, like a horse-drawn carriage, and the horse-drawn carriage is like whipping through fucking London, and it tips over, and there's a guy like on the side of it, and it as it tips over, it like lands on the dude, and I'm just like, oh.
Yeah, that was probably a fuck up.
They don't show the dude getting crushed, but like you hear everything, and it's like, oh, yikes.
Mhm.
That's the only one I can remember off the top of my head. I know there's more, but that's the only one I can think of off the top of my head.
Well, as you probably now understood, things have got to get pretty fucking drastic to get a reaction out of me.
Yeah. But with that, I think we're gonna head out for the day. I am struggling to keep my eyes open, and I apologize to everyone for it. I don't know what else to say. Farty?
I was gonna fucking end by answering that fucking the square root of fucking 2049 thing because I just actually watched that fucking episode
Oh
by
my
happenstance.
god.
But you think I can remember the fucking number? So there, I'm gonna fuck that joke up.
Boobies?
Boobies.
Frank and Farty, they're a couple of jerks. Can't stand each other, but somehow it works. Yelling and screaming, it's all in good fun. 2 hours a week, and then they're done. It's garbage, yeah, it's a mess. With Frank and Farty, you know the rest. Buddy Doku's gone, ghost in the stream. He's like Bigfoot in our podcast dream. Frank thinks he's smart, Farty thinks he's right. Put them together and they'll start a fight. Doku's hiding, who knows where? Probably eating snacks in his underwear. Nuke the site from orbit, it's the only way. Aliens got it right, we always say. Blow it all up, start it anew, but we'll be back next week just for you. It's garbage, yeah, it's a mess. With Frank and Farty, you know the rest. Buddy Doku's gone, ghost in the stream. He's like Bigfoot in our podcast dream. So thanks for listening to this crazy ride. Frank and Farty, always side by side. It's garbage.